Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Islam Podcast on this, what is it, November 28th, I think, second last week of the season. So it's me, Arif Khan, your host. So today we got a good one for you. As you probably saw from the poster, we got a couple of guys here from Taqwa. So let's bring them right in. First of all, we got Mr. Muhib Shah. Muhib, assalamu alaikum, bro.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah for having me.
Absolutely, happy you could come. And with you, we have your partner in crime, Omar.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Thanks for having me on.
Assalamu alaikum, bro. And of course, we will bring in as well our usual Abdulaziz. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
And of course, a fan favorite and someone who has to be here because Muhib is here, so he has to say his hi to him. Mr. Faisal Mahbub. Foster.
What's going on? Salam, everyone. How you all doing?
Wa alaikum salam.
Glad to be on.
Good. We're glad to have you. Now you got to behave though, eh? You're not picking on Muhib and then Omar and all the boys.
I'm always well behaved. Always.
You know what? You can be well behaved. So that's my aspiration here for you today. All right. We'll jump right into this. First of all, you can't see me, but that's fine. We'll figure that out in a second.
So, Arif, while you figure out what to do with your face, I'm just going to put a statement out.
Sure.
It's a bit of a disclaimer. The views expressed on this podcast belong to the individual, the host, and the guests individually. They do not reflect the views of our hockey league, Islam Hockey, or any of the players in the league. Parental discretion is advised.
Oh man, do we have to brace ourselves for this?
That sounded like CP24 hot property.
No. Listen, Faisal. I've been told if you don't behave, I'm allowed to jettison you from the show. So you can't get mad at me. All right, boys. Let's get into this. First of all, I was not there last week, so unfortunately, I don't have first-hand knowledge of the games. I obviously do know about them, but the gentlemen here that are accompanying me today, they will be glad to shed light on what went on. So, without further ado, the first game. Oh my goodness, 6-1 Taqwa over Sabr, and look who's the first star. Faisal, I'll throw this to you. What's going on, man? You got like what, 3 assists?
Listen, I got called out. I had to do something. There was a guy last week by the name of Yusuf Siddiqui who called out myself, and I was like, all right, and a couple of other guys. So I had to do something. I had to step up. But with that being said, actually, it was a team effort. I got to thank my team for that because, yes, I got the assists, but they were the ones scoring the goals. So the props really go to my teammates. They played a stellar game, right? And no, Hamza, I did not score. I got robbed pretty badly. That's the honest truth. Right in front of the net, I think there was like twice that Mughal robbed me, and he played a great game, but I did not score. No.
Abdulaziz, can you remind me of what some of the standing or playoff implications are with this game?
With this game, actually, Ikhlas clinches the last seed, the last spot in the playoffs. So Sabr and Iman are unfortunately out of playoff contention. So playoffs are set. I think there is just one or a few games this week. I think 2 that have seeding implications. But other than that, we know the 6 teams that are going to be heading into playoffs next week.
Okay. And how was the game itself? Like, how did I know it's a 6-1, but is the score reflective of?
So
how?
Yeah,
I think it was a pretty tight game from at the start. It was a very tight game. Sabr, just as I thought, I think I said this in the last week's podcast, where they were going to come out hard and try to bury us like quick and early, and they came out with intensity. They definitely brought it to us in the first half. I'm just trying to remember. I think it was only 1-1 or 2-1 at the end of the first. Just trying to recall that. but somehow, oh yeah, what happened was it was 2-0, and then Hamza Ali got a penalty shot, and and our goalie Yusuf did make the save, and it was a good save, but the ball just kept rolling. It was one of those you know, oh crap moments where
Yeah.
it kept rolling and it went in. They got a goal. It seemed like at that time the momentum was going to shift. It really seemed like there was going to be a change, but then. Like one of the guys on the team who I've spoken about, who, unsung hero really. He's been player of the week, Mr. Hussein Hamad. He came through with a clutch goal, third goal of the game, and that really took the momentum away from Suber. Like when we thought things were gonna shift, that goal was so clutch, and he's been clutch in all the games. Like the guy really shows up. So awesome goal. And I gotta say, there was a goal by Yusuf Zaidi. Oh, wow, that was just such a dirty goal. I know we got it on video. I don't know if we have it for this podcast, but it was epic. Like that was one hell of a dirty goal.
All right, good. Well, thank you for the recap. Let's move on to the next game, which was a 5-1 win by Taqwa here. So since we have a couple of the Taqwa GMs and players here, so let's start with Mohib, since he was the first star. So once again, I think Yusuf Siddiqui called out people to become first stars, or POWs, as you guys call it, and Mohib at least put a good effort to become one. So Mohib, tell us about this game.
Yeah, honestly, it was actually quite a even game, I would say. There would be like some chances where we would have a lot of pressure, but obviously Rida was short benched. Some of their guys were at Montreal, so they did what they could. But overall, we're playing good hockey, and all of our lines are playing really well. Khalid stood on his head too. He got tested a couple of times.
Yeah.
And mashallah, he's proven it again and again, every season, that he's a steady goaltender.
Omar, tell us a little bit about your goalie's performance, because the way your team plays offense and has just played fantastic. Sometimes the goalie's performance gets overlooked.
Yeah, Colin's been sharp all season long. He was really good last Friday, and that's one of the reasons why we picked him, just because he's extremely solid. He's always positionally sound. He's never caught out of position, and that's probably one of the reasons why he never has to make any big saves, because he's just always in the right spot. So he just reminds me a lot of Ali Khwaja in that the way he positions himself. So he's been our backbone all season long, and it's nice to see that he's giving that credit.
He also brings a nice calming presence to your team.
Yeah, statistically, he's the best goalie in the league. Like, it's not even close. So he's been outstanding for us.
Well, since we're on the topic of your team here, both to Mohib and Omar, let me throw this out. You guys have been on a tear. I don't think you guys have lost in a while, right? Strung together a whole bunch of wins. What changed? What happened? Mohib?
You know what? Honestly, there's a lot of chemistry. Everyone's kind of clicking. Although the first line guys are showing up on the first stars, but there's a couple guys that go unnoticed on the defensive side. There's a lot of guys like Sadat, Sufyan Sheikh, Suleiman Bati. There's a lot of underrated guys on that team. And our second line's really good too. We have a lot of depth. We have Ryan at second C, which is a cheat code in and of itself.
Yeah.
And we have good third line guys too that can easily pot in a goal once, if we get shut down, because hockey's that game, right? Like, you can get shut down and you have your team to pick you back up, and we have great chemistry right now, so it's going good. Alhamdulillah.
And just on a personal note, like I said, that 1 week where I was on the bench filming you guys and stuff, and then in the locker, and there's a little podcast, a vlog that we have on our site, people can go watch. I gotta say, it was fun to be on your side of the bench, like just as an observer. clearly you guys had great chemistry, and I gotta say, I love the brotherhood on your team. I think that's one of the values our league has. So your team this year exemplifies that. So that's kudos to you.
Just want to make a quick comment about that. So we have a
Yeah.
really tight knit group, and I think one thing that has changed, we're actually unbeaten in 6, but I think one thing that really changed the course of our team was when Muhib joined. That really gave us, one of the top performers in the league, and alhamdulillah, since then we've been a pretty good force in the league.
Absolutely.
So wait,
And
I
then
got a question to that.
Yep.
For Muhib did come in, and obviously he brings a lot of energy to your team, but in the same time, someone had to have moved out from that role. So did that factor in at all?
It's definitely one of the factors. I mean, I'm no Muhib Shah, I know that. So
no, wait. You can't incriminate yourself. No, that's not good. Wahib.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, we lost a player in Umar. He's a great defenseman, and he always has his heads up. So like, he makes a lot of good plays. Unfortunately, we did lose him, right? But we still have him. We still have him coming to the games. He's providing a lot of insight. A lot of times when you're playing, you get in the heat of the moment and you can't really make those plays or make those shots and call things, right? But Umar, provides that insight on the bench. And although Foster chirps us a lot for having a coach, but it helps a lot. And no, but Umar's a really smart guy, mashallah, and he provides a lot of insight. So yeah, we're lucky to have him too.
And I gotta echo that, because yes, you did have Mohib that came in. I mean, it's a different set of skills that each player brings to a table, but they didn't just lose a player, but they also gained a coach, and that makes a big difference. And I've observed Omar throughout the season. He prepares his team. He makes the right calls. He brings his clipboard like Fuzzy used to do. So the power of the clipboard, don't underestimate that. So this year, I think, and Abdulaziz, I'm going to go to you a little bit. We see a lot of teams. They are bringing coaches. I know with Taqwa, they're fortunate to have a full-time coach, if you will. But there's been other moments where teams have had someone on the bench boss, and it's really helped the team out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even our team in Hayaz had that. Akib's come a few times and, been the bench boss on our team running the offensive core. So it's definitely helped. And I echo what Muhib and Omar were saying. Having that eyes that's not in the game and so focused on the game helps a lot, because they see the whole rink. They see all the plays that are going on. They know what things to fix immediately rather than, kind of noticing it and then speaking about it at the half. They're allowed to tell you just immediately right away, work on this or fix this. And once you implement it, you see an improvement in the game. So having that bird's eye perspective as a coach definitely helps,
And it also removes that extra responsibility from a player, right? To make the calls and line changes and whatnot. Now, before we leave this last topic, I will give Foster credit where credit is due a little bit here, because during the span of Taqwa winning, Foster has chirped the team quite a bit. And at some level, it has given them a little bit of fire to perform well. I mean, not that they need it; they're very talented, mashallah. But I'm going to give a little bit of credit to Foster there as well. So, Foster, take that as you will.
Wait, credit for what? I didn't do nothing.
Okay, fine. All right, next game.
Listen, hold on. If you're talking about my team's performance, it was all of them. I was just fortunate enough to get a few points out of it, but the real workhorses are line 1 and 2. Those guys bring the hype. Like I'm just an add-on, right? But they're the ones that are the stars on the team. Like you take our line 1, take our line 2. Those guys are the stars, and as they should be.
Well said. All right, the second last game of the night was a 4-1 win by Haya over Yakin. So is this is not the first time, or is this the first loss by Yakin in a while? I can't remember. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's been a while. The last time they actually lost was to the 2 guests of honors that we have to Taqwa a while ago, actually, where it was a 4-2 game. And Takwa brought it to them. So it's been a while since their last loss. Definitely, they've been on a tear. They've been on a pretty good run since, probably to pick up themselves and fight for that first seed, and that bye. But this game was a very sound game for us. All of our lines were clicking. It might not look like that the first line produced, but all of our lines were clicking. Our defense was able to shut down that Siddiqui line, which was key for our team because we knew if we can contain their speed, we have a really good chance at winning the game. So it did help, and the biggest notable thing is we were missing a few notable guys in Imad Khawaja and Arsul Shahabuddin this game, but we were still able to pull out the victory and with the people that we had. So it was a huge win for us, and it really propelled our team. And I'm looking forward to what we have because the way that our team's playing, playoffs will be fun because we want to play Yakin or San or Takwa or any of the other teams because we know we can win.
Yeah, and you know what? Haya seems to be another one of those teams that has really stepped it up in the last little while. Probably ever since, again, the trade when Maz came in. Again, they lost a great player in Ake, but that trade since then they've also been on fire. So, that this might be a team that Omar, you might end up facing in the playoffs potentially, right? This team and Yakin, or either one of these teams, they both look really good. If you do, what do you have to do to get through them?
You know what? That's going to be a tough matchup. I think High is coming in. Like, I know we're unbeaten 6. High is unbeaten 5. So they're right there with us. And they look like a completely different team with Maz.
Yeah.
And they got so many weapons on that team. Like, they can put Maz on their second line. They can play with Grinders, and he'll still be effective. He makes everybody around him better. So if we can shut down Maz, I think that's key. Yakin, they obviously have that big line. If we shut down that top line, that gives us a good chance.
Well, I mean, they do have a lot of good players, a lot of top players, but on this night, the top player, the star player, was none other than our boy Abdulaziz. Abdulaziz, 2 goals. Again, you're up there with guys like Foster and Muhib. But what happened? What did you have for dinner before the game?
I don't even remember, honestly. But honestly, it was a great game for actually our entire line, the third line, because we just had the chances. The first goal that I got, it was a really nice pass from Hussein Malik, where I think Yakin's D just didn't give the respect, and I was in the slot, and I just shot it at Arsul Batti, and it went. And then the second goal was just a workhorse goal where Hamza Gaya hit it. Arsul Batti gave a rebound, and then I just curled and tucked it in, I think either 5-hole or over his pad again. So they were both good goals. I think one of them was to take the 2-0 lead, and then the other one was to the game winner. Yeah. But, it was just our line clicked very well that game because we had 2 centers. So Amar and Maz were rotating. So I think we did have Maz on for both of the goals. So, he pulls so much attention to him that one guy's always open. And, luckily it was me both times.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing though about Haya. To those who come to the rink, I've been a fan of Haya for like 4 weeks now. I called it from like when Maz came in. I've been saying that Haya was going to be like one of the teams that if you face in the playoffs, just be ready that you might actually lose. They bring a whole different element. They have a lot of physicality. So guys like, that like to stick handle, that like to, do those nice plays, just be ready to get hit because Lukman's going to come after you. And then you have guys like, there's a lot of depth guys like, Ahmer Wasif, Hussein Malik. And then you have like one of the best goalies arguably in Hamza Butt. So, and then you have Maz Haku, who's a cheat code in and of itself too. So yeah, I've been a fan of Haya for some time now. They're doing really well, and mashallah, the results are showing it.
No, great points. And you mentioned, all you guys mentioned a lot of these players. And one cheat code that I want to shout out is my boy Hamza Gaya. He doesn't get enough credit, man. The guy, he's a grinder. He runs. He gets into the corners. I think the last couple of weeks he was like first star and he got the game winner. So again, he got
the game winner against us, against the class.
Yeah, and
he got the third goal.
So that's their guy. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Gaya here.
Oh my goodness, where do I start? No, Hamza guy, like he is a cheat code. He is he's a really good player on in general, and he's just right place, right time, and he's got a ton of speed. Uh, I think they should use him more in different specialty team scenarios because he does have good hockey IQ, right? And high in general. I mean, they've got a lot of depth on that team. They're a grinder team, but they're skilled. Like all those guys, top to bottom, they're
Well, I didn't
skilled.
even mention
They
Imad
can all
Khawaja. I
carry.
forgot they had that guy.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
Monster.
Imad.
Insane. Insane.
Yeah, Imad's one you didn't mention. Shahabuddin's the other one.
Have they had their
See,
entire?
I didn't even remember them. See, that's how insane that is.
Like, have they had their entire team available at any point? I don't think I've seen them.
I think one game we had our entire team available, which we won.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the season, we would either be missing someone or a couple of folks on the team. We've never had just one game this season where we had the full 15. But every game, every week, there's been a few key players missing. To be honest,
Yeah.
That's
You know
why. That's why you guys are a dangerous team because you got depth, you got greediness and skill. If you guys are all present, you guys are very, very dangerous.
Like I've always said, a Luke and Akib team, like the whole high hustle thing, is not a team you want to face in the playoffs. And I mean, it's you know what? I'm lucky that I don't have this problem this year because my team is not making the playoffs, so we don't have to worry about that. However, the game that my team did play last week, unfortunately, I couldn't play. I was injured. We were pretty short benched, and somehow we came out with a 1-1 tie against a powerhouse of a team in Ihsan. Somebody fill me in. What happened here? How did we not get decimated here?
I can fill in, but I know Muhib was there too. So
You started off, and I'll go to Muhib.
Yeah, sure. So I think this game was the expectation of this game was that it was going to be a pretty one-sided affair, but surprisingly for Iman, Yusuf Kapoor stepped in net and he played phenomenal for them. And considering Iman only had one sub on the bench.
Yeah.
So Iman had one sub and they were able to, just grind it out, play a very defensively sound game, even though Ihsan was controlling the tempo and the offensive zone time of that game. But Iman, did what they needed to do. They played physical and they limited, good chances to just one goal. And, credit to Iman's D, they really stepped up. And their offense had a few good chances, and it could have gone their way. They just didn't capitalize. But I was pretty, surprised that Iman and Ihsan ended up in a tie because with one sub, I was kind of expecting it to be a pretty one-sided affair for Ihsan.
Yeah. Muhib, you were you saw the game at the end?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty interesting game. There was quite a bit of everything. You had physicality. You had players playing against the boards, battling hard, locking down their best guys. I mean, I think what they were trying to do is, I think they were doing too much.
Yeah.
They had 6 guys on the bench, or 6 guys in general. I think all you have to do is just shoot on net. And yeah, Yusuf's a great goalie, but you got to test the goalie. I think they didn't test the goalie, and I think they were kind of making too many passing plays. I know the type of style that they play. But yeah, I mean, they're a good team regardless. They shouldn't take anything from this game other than the fact that, they're going to have to come out hard against us next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. I was on the sideline and I was confused.
Omar,
I can tell you how it happened. Rizzy didn't show up, and Farouk Sani weren't there. So those are the stars on the team. I don't know about DC.
You still have Dawood, Ali, Wadi, Usman Batar.
Yeah, you still have a bit.
Forget about Dawood, but if we're talking about Farouk Sani and Rizzy Khaler, now those are difference makers, right? And I think them not being there really changed the complexion of that team.
No, I mean, whatever they did, it worked. It was a 1-1 tie. Omar, you and I, we've actually unfortunately been on other teams where we've had a short bench like that, right? People didn't show up and stuff. As a coach, how do you motivate your team to try to play a game like that? What's the, I guess, thought process or game plan when you know you're shorthanded and you won't have anybody to change with?
Well, the thing is, you definitely have to change the way you play. You can't chase the game. You got to just let the game come to you. Can't forecheck. You just got to plug up the neutral zone. So there's definitely some things you could do, more positionally sound. But it's really tough when you get down in a game if you're that short benched. Mohib just mentioned before that he was a fan of Haya. I'm actually a fan of Iman's rebuild. I think since that trade deadline, this might be the first point that they got. So it's nice to see they're getting at least some results.
I can't remember if we got a point before, but yeah, I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. It's like 1 point. We don't have a lot. But from my side, in the group chat afterwards, right, we messaged people and, hey, how did we do? And Husli was clowning around a little bit, like, oh, we lost 6-1 or 1-6, right? And nobody said anything because we actually believed that. We're like, hey, did you pull the goalie again with 8 minutes left? But clearly not here. But when we found out later that it was a 1-1, we were actually very proud of the guys. And one name that I don't see here as one of the stars is Azar Zafar. From what I understand, the guy was his usual Energizer Bunny. He was all over the place. He was playing forward, deep. In his words, he plays midfield soccer once or twice a week, so he's okay to stay on the whole game. So yeah, shout out to him as well for being a big part of that tie.
Yeah, I mean, the other person that I'll give a big props to for Iman was Anas Barachia. He really played well for that team, and he had a few chances, and he was really playing really good hockey with them, like playing the entire game almost. And I remember, I think on your point of Azar Zafar, Muhib the entire night, Azar Zafar loading.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we had like an inside joke because every time Azar Zafar touched the ball, we're like, he's getting a goal right now. So we're just banging on the boards, chirping, having fun, you know.
I've played with Azar for many years at different leagues and whatnot. One thing I gotta say about him, like he comes to Sunday pickup hockey as well at the hangar. He's a different player. I think he plays better when the game is more unstructured. He's very free flowing, right? When it's league games, I think everyone has to play positional and this and that. But if you let Azar go, he actually is a lot more effective. So that's why these type of games I think bode well for him.
It's that unorthodox style.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what you need. All right. With that, let's recap the Hoopo Player of the Week, and it is none other than our boy here, Abdulaziz.
Wire it at him.
Oh, look at
Let's
that.
go for Player of the Week. Thank you to the sponsor, Hoopo, for giving me this nomination, and thank you to the OC. Thank you to my teammates. Much appreciated, guys. Salam, boys.
Nice. Congratulations, Abdulaziz. What do you have to say for this video?
Honestly, big thanks to everyone that helped. I won't say their name because they're podcast. They're like, oh, when you mention us in the podcast, it's like bad luck or something. But okay, I will.
We're Muslim. We don't believe in superstition. Come on.
Arzal Bhatti was the goalie in that. Imran Shah and then Khizr Ahmed from Ikhlas, and Hamza Gaya was the one that feeded me the pass. So it was a really fun video to make, and I'm really happy that I got Player of the Week, even though, guys like Foster and Muhib did put up a better stat line. I'm just happy that I got it. So much appreciated to, the refs and the OC for giving it to me, but it was really fun, and thanks for the honor, guys.
Awesome. You deserved it. Well deserved. Does it mean you're going to have to do one of those water bucket challenges and that Yusuf seemed to have started?
I think that trend's pretty old, but Yusuf didn't call me out, so I think I'm okay.
All right. Are you going to call someone out, or are you going to just leave it here?
Sure. I'll give a call out. I think, and he's a teammate of Muhib and Omar. I think I want to see Imran Shah at least pot 1 or 2 this week.
Nice. I thought you were going to say Bika, but the Imran Shah is a good pick.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
He's actually been playing amazing lately. He's really stepping up.
Yeah, I mean he could easily get one too, right? All right. So we had a quick comment here from King. King, what was it? Oh, about my injury. Yeah, thanks, bro. I did get injured a few weeks ago and on my ankle, and it's just sort of getting worse. So last week I wasn't able to play. Probably not going to be able to play this week either. But inshallah, I want to heal up and be ready for the winter season, inshallah. So make dua. Alrighty, next one. Let's go to the schedule. So here we have some interesting games. I'll need maybe Foster. You can help me talk about some of the playoff implications. So the first game is Iman versus Yakin. Obviously, Iman is completely out of the playoff picture. But what's the implication here for Yakin? Is this just another prep game, or does it have some implications?
I think it's just a prep game. It's really like the team is going to need to just fine tune themselves for the playoffs. Like if they're coming off that loss to Haya, they're gonna need to put it together and be like, okay, we're headed to the playoffs. We can't have that debacle that we had last week. So
Yeah, because they're coming off a loss, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that should be their mindset. It
Yeah.
should be okay, listen, we didn't do that well. How do we change that this week in preparation for the playoffs? And if I'm not mistaken, I just brought up the standings. So they're 2 points ahead of Taqwa with 8 wins. Now, if they lose this week and Taqwa wins, their stat line is identical, right?
But here
it'll come down to.
Sorry, what Abdullah's saying that Yakin needs a point to get the first round, so it's not fully a throwaway game. They need the win to get the bye. And I think Taqwa.
That's what I'm saying. Excuse me. That's what I'm saying. They if they were to lose and Taqwa wins, they're tied. The difference is going to be the goal differential. No, I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's head to head.
No,
I believe it is goal differential.
It's goal differential. Yeah.
Omar, so this game here, I mean, it's a nothing game from Iman, but it seems like Yakin getting a point or not affects your standings and your where you get a bye, because it's not just a bye if you're finished first, right? It's also you get to pick who you want to play.
I think that's a huge advantage. So I think some of our guys would probably be watching this game closely. But regardless of the outcome, we're still going to prepare the same way. We're still going to treat
because you still have to win your
that game as a playoff. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, not to get ahead. Sure. Not to get ahead of ourselves, Mohib, but let's say, inshallah, you guys finish first overall. You get to pick who you want to play. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Is there a team you want to play or not play in the first round?
Honestly, I'm just ready for playoffs. I don't really care who I play, which team we pick. I'll let Umar decide that, Asif decide that. I'm just here to play. I just want to get to playoffs already.
I like that.
Oh, that's such a PC answer. Such a politically correct answer.
But it's the right.
No,
I know
honestly,
what you want to say.
You can easily face guys who are like, you might think that, you can actually pick a better opponent. Like, imagine if Hayat wins. Like, do you really want to pick Hayat? Like, teams like that, like, you don't know what you're going to get into by picking them. So, it just by chance, whatever happens. And I mean, Duck was like Umar said, we're going to prepare the same way. We're going to come into the playoffs hard. Simple as.
Yep.
Yeah, I always tend to say, at least for the most part, that let's not worry about the other team. Let's worry about our game, right? Let the other team worry about us. Obviously, this year we are not in a position to have that attitude, but for teams that are high up on the podium, you guys can definitely have that advantage. Abdulaziz, I think Abdullah is clarifying things for us. So it's wins head to head, goal differential, and then goals against. So by that account,
Takwa has
has
the
the
win.
head-to-head.
Yeah, Takwa has the head-to-head, and if Yakin was to lose to Iman and Takwa was to win against Ihsan tomorrow night, then
Mhm.
Takwa would get that first seed and that privilege, the chance to pick their opponent in semifinals.
Nice. Yes, thanks Abdullah for clarifying some of those. So that definitely helps. So in the second game of the night, it'll be Haya versus Sabr. Again, I understand Sabr is out of the playoff picture, but so same question to you, Abdulaziz. For you guys, are you taking this as a tune-up game, or is it something else?
No, I think we're also, going into that playoff mentality. I know there's a chance that we can make second seed if the cards fall correctly for us. But I think our expectation is that we're going to be playing next week, and every game for us, we'll take it one game at a time and just focus on what we need to do and continue the momentum that we have and carry that into playoffs. And for us, I think our team's motive is that for us it's an advantage that we will play in quarters because sometimes for some people the bye is a way to cool down, and we want to keep up that tempo that we've had and that we've been riding these past few weeks, and just continue to win games, and hopefully that results in us making a deep run in the playoffs.
I know Faisal well enough to know that he's heating inside, saying that what's up with all these hockey player answers? They're all such polite answers, Faisal. That's true. I told you to be a good boy. You're being really good.
Yes.
I'm not going to put you back.
They're all competitive matches, and everybody should be mindful of where the games are going to be.
I mean, for me, I wouldn't mind facing Ikhlas, but I don't think they're going to make it out of the Rida game.
Oh,
Shots fired. All right. Well, you know what? Let's talk about this. And game 3 is Ikhlas versus Rida. Faisal, what do you have to do here? Do you have to be POW again to really get your team to win against Rida?
No. It's my team. Like these guys, they're solid. Like again, like players like Khalil, Yusuf Zaidi, the Bungish brothers, Essen Zaidi, Mikhail. These guys are the stars of the team. Ridwan on defense, like there's so many different chips on the team that have a pivotal role. Even like the veteran guidance from Salman, right? Like and Rizwan Malik, like you want to have a well-rounded team. We've got the youth, we've got the vets on the team that bring a different perspective in the locker room, and it's something that you can't overlook. Like sometimes guys will say and do certain things and step up and really resonate with players. Like I think Hassan Zaidi is a great leader on the team.
Yes.
Like he's fantastic. The guy he lays down a strategy. He has good vision out there, and he's one of those guys. How other teams have that player that just has that calming effect, and he kind of puts everything into perspective, and great strategist as well. So it's great having him be those eyes. Then you got a guy like Rizwan Malik. This guy brings like pure intensity. He's I love it, like a complete madman, but in a good way. I love it. I love the intensity that he brings. So that being said, look, we're not going to treat the game versus Rida lightly at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what the GMs have in mind, but how I would view it, let's say, from a third-party perspective, I would say this. I would say treat this game like a playoff game, right? Work out any kinks a team might have, and this goes for all the teams. Like, if you're into the playoffs,
sorry, Faisal, you're cutting off a little bit. I don't know if it's just me or others. But
can you guys hear me, or am I cutting off?
No, it's better, I think.
No, it's better. Yeah. Sorry. No, but your point is well taken. Your team is solid. You guys, especially when it comes to Esan, I got to say, I've played with him for many years. He's calm when he needs to, but he also has a quiet intensity, and he can be very vocal as well. So in a playoff situation, I've seen him really motivate the team. So yeah, absolutely, good points there.
I also think that I think Ikhlas should take this as a playoff matchup because I do think that they might face Team Rida.
Mhm.
You guys have played well, like, although, like, I might chirp and stuff, but you guys have played really well. And you guys have like a really good defensive core. So, you can play upset, or, you can surprise a lot of people. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the only point that I will make is I think it'll really come down to both TMs per respective GMs. Not to mention, like, will Altaf and Zahir Kazi provide that offensive or defensive capabilities to produce for Rida against Yusuf Muhammad and Hassan Muhammad, because Yusuf Muhammad is obviously coming off a 6-1 win,
Yeah.
and his confidence is riding high for them, and they want to continue that trend. So will Rida be able to find those chances and capitalize on them on Yusuf Muhammad, or will Yusuf Muhammad continue that play that he's been playing and be that goaltender that he was last week and carry it to this week as well?
And you can never discount a team that has Yusuf Kapoor.
Yusuf Kapoor, yeah.
Right? And you know what, we talk about all these other guys, but we sometimes forget one of their other GMs, one of their top guys on their team, right? We saw a couple of weeks ago where a couple of weeks ago where he had some fantastic goals. He just went through the entire team at will and scored a couple of goals.
Who are you talking about?
Zahir, Altaf?
No, I'm sorry. I'm being foggy here.
Mohamed Boboya.
Bully, there you go. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Bully. Okay.
Yeah, Bully.
Yeah.
So he's a game changer, right? Like when he wants to, I think he can really take the bull by the horns and change a game completely. So yeah, like offense, defense, and a goalie. I think Faisal, you're gonna have to have your team really step up in this game.
Yeah, look, I think we're gonna treat it like for the playoffs.
Mhm.
We could be facing, any of these top teams. So if we're gonna make a deep push if we're towards the finals, try to make it
Yeah.
to the championship game, we're gonna have to really showcase some skills tomorrow, and at the same time, work out any kinks that we might have shown
Mhm.
during the season, and be prepared. I have listen. I don't have any doubt in my teammates. These guys, like these kids, play at a high level outside of Iceland with
Yeah.
Dynamo. Like, I mean, they play a very high caliber game. These guys are in tournaments, all over the place. They're really skilled players. So if they can bring that chemistry and that intensity to the game tomorrow and every single game into the playoffs,
Yeah.
I have no doubt that we can, take out all the other teams. I have no doubt in our goalie either. Like you just played stellar, right? You're gonna let in a bad goal here and there, but that's part of the game. Like, who cares, right? He's been stellar in that for us. So
Right.
I mean,
Sorry to cut you off. We got to just move on to the last
Go.
one because we are running a little long on time here. So the last game, I'm going to give some time here to Omar and Muhib to comment a bit more on it. Since it is their game against Ihsan, and Ihsan, again, they're one of the stronger teams. When their full line shows up, their full team, they are a handful. Muhib, how are you going to treat this game? Same question that we've had for the other games here.
Honestly, we just have to start on time.
What do you mean when you say start on time? Like people showing up, or just
No, we have no problem with attendance issues, but no, just starting on time for the game, like bringing the intensity and doing the things that we set out to do from the ball drop, and getting shots on net, getting in their zone, doing the things that we normally do on a game to game basis. We just have to start off strong because we know this team is good, regardless of what happened last week. We know who they have and the stars that they have. So we just gotta manage expectations and just play hockey. Like we gotta do that. Simple.
The real
Let me
question
ask-
is Sani going to be there?
I don't know, but I think they have enough stars to go around, even
Yeah,
if they don't have
No,
Sani.
you listen. If they got Farouk Sani, it's over for you guys. You're going to need two Omar Mohammed behind the bench.
Farouk's a very good player. He, he's on D on that team. He's a calming factor on there. So yeah, he will make a difference. But Muhib, let me just ask my follow-up question for you. Do you personally approach the game differently, knowing what type of star players on the other side? Because mashallah, you're a really good player yourself. So how do you deal with playing against other stars?
Honestly, I actually enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I like the competition. I like the competitiveness of the game. So I don't approach it any differently than I would any other game.
Mhm.
What I would say though is that I do have to make sure I keep an eye out for some of their players when they're playing. But other than that, just play the way I normally play. And yeah, it's better that way. When you have better competition,
Yeah.
you just thrive more.
Yeah. Omar, you're often known to play when you do play defense, or when you used to play defense, right? A very tough guy to get around and stuff. So what's your strategy in trying to contain a team that has guys like Rizzi and Osman and all these top end players?
Yeah, they obviously have a ton of talent. They also have that chemistry too. Those older Greenbird players, right? So
Mhm.
it's gonna be tough. I mean, we'll probably put together a shutdown pair if they're going to stack up their lines.
Yeah.
So we'll come up with a strategy. But I'm sure our guys are really going to get up for this type of game. Their goalie's a Donlands guy. We got a whole bunch of Donlands players on our team, so
Mhm.
I'm sure they're going to really get up for this game. Mohib's got the Greenberg connection, so I'm sure he's got no shortage of motivation there too. So I'm really looking forward to this
Yeah.
game. It's
If your
basically
top
first round of the playoffs for us.
true. If your top guys sort of neutralize their top guys, then who do you have left? I saw DC.
Wait, before we get to DC, I had a question for Omar. Do you feel that because you guys have some players from Donlands that know and played with Mahida, that might give you a bit of insight and an advantage over Esan? Isan?
It's a possibility. I mean, none of the Donlands guys have kind of voiced that yet, but perhaps by game time tomorrow, they might say that hey, he's weak, in this particular area. So, and if that's something that we can exploit, then we'll use whatever we can.
No, absolutely. Abdulaziz, for this game, I mean, obviously, Muhib and Omar, they're gonna hype their own team as they should. But as a third party here, what's your take on this? Who do you see winning here or tying?
Honestly, I will give the edge to Taqwa just because they've been on that tear,
Mhm.
and they have that depth that Ihsan, in my opinion, does not. The three lines that Taqwa has, especially like when you have the likes of Ryan Khawaja and Casentini on your second line, they can really take advantage of Ihsan's second line, and the likes of their third line also, in my opinion, is more depth and has more potential than Ihsan's third line. But in my opinion, the credit for Ihsan is their decor is very stable in terms of
Yeah.
attendance and who comes out. So I wouldn't be too surprised if you have their decor working very hard to shut down, line 1 and 2 for Taqwa. So it could go either way, and I think it will be a very tight and exciting game to watch. But I think I'll give the edge to Taqwa just because of the depth.
Yeah, well analyzed there. I unfortunately won't be there tomorrow, but if I was, this is the game that I would really like to sit through and watch with attention, because as a hockey fan, I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. Whether it's 7-6 or 1-0, score doesn't matter. I think the game itself would be really, really a lot of fun to watch. So best of luck to.
I think it's going to be the game of the night, because there's so many implications in this game, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at Yakin, okay, there is some implication, but not that much. The second game, all right, Haya, if they win, it makes it very interesting for second and third place.
Yep.
But really, the Takwa and Isan game has positioning importance.
Mhm.
But Abdullah is putting some great commentary here. If you just read that, like Isan can go from second to fourth depending on how the game's scoreboard lines up, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be an exciting match.
Just way too many
So-
combinations and permutations to really sort of calculate exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, anything can happen this week.
Yeah,
So-
like Abdulaziz can carry his team again for another week into what is it? Like go right up to second place, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, if the cards play correctly, there is a chance. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining, guys. Before we leave, a couple of things to cover. One is join our team, where we are looking for a scorekeeper, which is a paid position. Also for the media team, you know, as you've seen, we've had a lot of people joining the podcast and trying to host the podcast and whatnot. You know, I'm always happy to relinquish the podcast hosting duty. So if you want to join the team, you're more than welcome to. We'll help you. We'll even teach you how to take the videos and photos and podcasts and whatnot. So always welcome to have new members there. So shout out to that.
Arif, I think there was a photo you wanted to share.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm saving that for last. I'm saving that for last. Don't worry, I'll get there.
Okay, good. All right, we're not there yet.
So basically, throughout the season, as followers of the podcast have noticed, Faisal makes it a point to chirp Muhib and chirp Omar a little bit. But remember, this is a brotherhood league, and at the end of the day, we're all brothers. And one of the best pieces of evidence is this wonderful picture here with all three of these gentlemen. Look at them. Can't recognize them without their helmets and their sticky hockey gloves. They clean up good, mashallah.
Yeah, once in a while.
Omar or Muhib, where was this picture taken, and what's your thoughts here?
It was actually at Asif's wedding.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the photographer is on this because they caught me with my eyes closed on this one.
Yo, man, eyes closed, standing next to Foster, I'd be worried.
Yo, listen, it's like this. It's all jokes. I've said this time and time again. It's just jokes on the podcast, but outside of hockey, we're friends. So contrary to popular opinion, I don't have any animosity towards any one of you guys except DC, but all you guys are cool. We have fun. All right. And the other thing is, if I say anything that may have offended you, I don't give a fuck.
And with that, we are out of here, boys.
Perfect way to end it.
All right, thanks, guys. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, best of luck to all of you, and inshallah, we will see each other on the next podcast. Hopefully, Assalamu alaikum, boys.